Hey everybody, Ira Miller here, Monday Night Live. How's everybody doing? I bet you didn't think you would see me here tonight because there's probably a pretty good chance that I wasn't going to make it since yesterday was my birthday, and thus you kind of see this hat. I'll tell you what the hat says. It says vintage aged to perfection. And we're going to talk about how I was able to be aged to perfection tonight. So we have some guests with us this evening, as I promised. I think we talked about it last night or last Monday when we were on, and then our promo video. I hope everybody saw that. Kind of spelled out about what we were going to do here this evening. So normally we kind of wait and we talk a little bit about different things. But I want to get our guests on tonight because I really feel like this is a very important subject matter because I participate in this functional medicine myself. And that's why I really feel like I want to be an advocate for functional medicine because I really feel like I just turned 70 yesterday. So I think because of functional medicine, it's kept me going. As you all know, I have two businesses that I'm running right now. I'm running IM Realty and I'm running IM Renovations, doing renovation projects mostly around the villages or in the villages actually. So something's got to keep me going. So I have my lovely guests over here that are going to talk to you a little bit about what we do. So let me introduce Sarah Tate. And by the way, they're with Omega Integrated Medicine. Is that correct?
Integrative care, yeah.
Integrative care. We have you want to show their website? So there's their website. So we have Sarah and Vicky, and they're the ones that go ahead and really involved with functional medicine. And so I want everybody out there to go ahead and get their questions ready. And I know I've tried this in the past, but if you want to call in, you can call in. Actually, the phone number is right up here, 352-204-9026. If you feel like it's easier to call in, I can certainly go ahead and answer the phone and put you up to the mic, and we all can participate. So there you go. I want to thank everybody for wishing me a happy birthday. I really appreciate that. It was actually a birthday week, which accumulated to Sunday, to yesterday, which was my actual birthday. So that's why I said, I'm kind of lucky I'm here, right? If I didn't have Sarah here and Vicky here to kind of keep me going. So functional medicine, like I said, Trish Navarro, she's here in the villages. Racer Girl, she's here in the villages. So a lot of these people that join us are already here. And then Omega is here in the villages. You're located at Lake Sumter Landing, right? Mm-hmm, so on the backside of Lake Sumter Landing. So conveniently located here in the villages. And so why don't we let one of you, I don't know who would like to go first, but explain to everybody kind of what you do and how it benefits everybody.
All right. I'm Sarah, nurse practitioner. This is Vicky, another nurse practitioner that works with us. We co-own Omega Integrative Care. And like Ira has said, we do functional medicine. And some people are like, what is functional medicine? What does that actually mean? What we do with functional medicine is we dig a little bit deeper. We look underneath everything and really get to the root cause as far as what's going on. With traditional medicine, you come in, you get some blood work done, they come up with a diagnosis such as high blood pressure or high cholesterol, and they give you a pill for that to help that those symptoms. What we do is we look underneath and say, why are you having high cholesterol? Why are you having high blood pressure or brain fog or constipation, diarrhea? Whatever your issue is, we look deeper to see what exactly is going on so that we can resolve those issues and try to keep you off those medications and keep you thriving, not just living to 70, but like Ira, thriving at 70 and being able to go on vacations and enjoy all the things that he loves to do.
We like to kind of look at the labs, and doctors will tell you, that your labs look normal, but sometimes you don't feel normal even whenever the labs are normal. So that's where we really try to dig a little bit deeper and get into the root causes of things.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think the bottom line is, it's not like they want to treat your issue. They want to dive deeper and figure out what's causing those issues,
Exactly.
Right.
rather than just treating the problem. So if you, let's say you have a headache, right? So why take an aspirin? You want to take an aspirin for, maybe immediate relief, but what's causing those headaches, right? So that's kind of what functional medicine is to me. And I'm with Sarah, I am on hormone replacement therapy. And so my testosterone levels are atrocious when I'm not on testosterone. So if anybody knows anything about testosterone or hormone replacement therapy, there's a comfort level, right? So that's why I work with Sarah, and we decide, okay, which are the best levels for me? Is it 1,000? Was it? Is it parts per million? What are the levels for testosterone called? Because I know my levels without it are like at 250, around 250.
Yeah, and we really want, most men feel best whenever it's about 800 to 1,000. And so everybody's a little bit different there. Some might feel better a little bit lower. Some might feel better higher than that. So that's where we kind of.
Yeah, I like to be around 850. And so I constantly monitor my my blood levels with for testosterone, just to make sure. That's where I've been taking testosterone since 2007. So almost 20 years. Now I meet a lot of people who are, the doctors just, quite frankly, scare the hell out of them and say, you don't want to do that. That's going to cause cancer. That's going to fuel cancer. That's going to do this. That's going to do that. And I keep telling the people I run into, I'm like, I've been doing this for almost 20 years, since 2007. So it's like, it's hard talking to those people.
It is, and thankfully, Vicki will probably talk more on this, but about the new FDA thing that came out today, talking about how they're removing that black box warning off of the hormones that were from the WHI that was done, where they were saying that it led to cancer and led to all of those things, that they're taking that off and saying that was a misunderstanding. That's not true. We've been, keeping hormones from all these ladies for no reason. So did you want to talk more on that?
Well, the WHI did this study back in 2002, and whenever they did that, they were saying that estrogen was causing breast cancer, and so it terrified women, terrified doctors, and they discontinued, women's their estrogen for decades now, and caused a lot of problems. And one of the things that was really true is that estrogen therapy, I know you were talking about the testosterone,
Right.
but the estrogen therapy can reduce the risk of heart attacks by 50%. It can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's or dementia by 50%. It also, again, reduces the risk of bone fractures by 50%. So whenever you really look at that, they knew that estrogen protects you from bone loss, but they felt that the concern was that if it was going to cause breast cancer. But what they really discovered, that it wasn't the estrogen that was causing the breast cancer. It was the artificial progestins that were used in the study that led them to that. And so therefore, 500 million women now have suffered through menopause needlessly. And testosterone was one of the hormones also that was in and amongst this for women, that it would help with vaginal dryness, with urinary tract infections, and those types of problems that they have. And without that, they're just left to suffer.
That's the word I was going to use.
Just suffer.
Yeah.
And they don't have to, but whenever you have black box warnings on medications based on misunderstood studies, it really causes a lot of fear. And so doctors may prescribe that, the vaginal estrogen or something, or even testosterone for that particular patient. And they get home and they read whatever black box warning is on it, and it says, but it could lead to this or it could lead to that, and they say it's not worth it. So it's just a misunderstanding about how those things all go together.
And yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. And, from a man's, so that's kind of, estrogen is the same thing. It's not the same thing, but it's along the same lines as what testosterone is for men. And I know for me, when I am not on testosterone, I have brain fog. My energy levels are just like non-existent. I mean, I'm just dragging all the time. And I think, in my opinion, this is perfect. This is just my opinion, that without testosterone, without hormone replacement therapy, to me, those are signals to your body that, you know what, we're no longer useful on this earth anymore, and we're just going to go downhill. And so I honestly feel like, for me, again, this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is their opinion or advocating for them at all, but I'm just saying, for me, I really feel like if I keep my hormones up at a higher level, say when I was in my 30s,
Right.
then
Exactly.
my body is going to feel like I am still here, I'm still, in existence, and a functioning member of the human race
Right.
at those levels, rather than it going downhill. And but again, you get these doctors out there that scare like guys and say, oh, it's going to cause prostate cancer, or for women, it's going to cause breast cancer or cervical cancer or whatever. It's like, to me, when you keep your hormone levels up here, your body is kind of functioning like it was when you were younger.
Right.
So how many men or how many women do you really find in their 20s and 30s, when their hormone levels are at their peak, that have these problems, that have breast cancer, that have cervical cancer? I mean, there's some out there, but it's very low compared to the ones, when we get older and our hormones are just in the dump.
One of the things that men really struggle with is that stigma that's put on testosterone, that is only for libido, that is only for your sex drive. And they say, well, I'm fine in that area. And they don't really realize that brain fog and that lack of muscle strength and that fatigue that they're having is directly related to their testosterone. There's something that they can do. It's not just, I'm getting older and I'm 60 or I'm 70. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
And they don't have to feel that way. It's okay to want to feel like you're in your 30s again, whenever you felt like your prime, because you still have a lot of life that you want to live, a lot of things that you want to give. And we want to help people not just survive and get by from day to day and be able to, just get up in the morning and put your pants on. We want you to get up and feel like you can thrive throughout the day and really just be active and participate instead of just observing. Yeah.
And I don't, I just feel like we deteriorate as we get older.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I look at my father-in-law, I look at my cousin, I look at my aunt, I just look at all these people who are older and their bones are getting more brittle, their muscle structure is like gone, and so it's like, to me, I feel like I'm in my, I certainly don't feel 70, I can tell you that. And like I said, I need the energy to keep going anyways, but I just really feel like keeping your hormone levels high keeps your body from, from deteriorating.
Right, it
Pretty
does.
much.
And it's, women, I think oftentimes, or people often think that testosterone is just for men. Women actually have 10 times more testosterone than you do estrogen. So testosterone plays a huge part in females as well. Just men have more testosterone than women do. So like he was mentioning, it plays into your bones, into your muscles, again, your brain fog. It's your get up and go. It's what gives you the motivation to go out and do things. And so whenever you start seeing that decline in your 30s and into your 40s, it starts early. So don't be afraid to go to your doctor and be like, hey, I don't want to feel this way. You don't have to. You don't have to sit back and feel tired and worn out and draining. You don't have to wait till you're 50 or 70 to start these things. You can start earlier, go ahead and get some testing done and see where your body is with that.
There's a lot of women that a lot of my friends and a lot of my mother's friends have gone through menopause and felt like they just had to suffer through it, and that it was almost like this rite of passage. You just have to do it. It's just one of those things that women have to tolerate. It's just part of being a woman, and it really is sad to think that so many people have felt like they have to just suffer through the hot flashes and the depression. They go to the doctor for, I just don't feel like myself anymore. I feel like I can't think, I can't concentrate, I'm irritable, and their answer is an antidepressant or, anxiety medication, when really, if they would look at what's causing those issues to get down to the root cause of that particular thing, they would find, that their hormones are now off balance. And I mean, how many times have you really looked at how you were whenever you were pregnant, when you knew your hormones were not right, and how much that changed who you are? Well, whenever you're past pregnancy, if your hormones aren't right, it changes, who you are, and you don't have to do that.
Let's go to a couple questions for you guys,
all
okay?
right.
So Kimberly asked, do you have a lab on site?
We send people to Quest typically, or LabCorp, wherever you go for your actual serum blood work. We do have other tests on site that we give you for looking at your cortisol and how you're metabolizing your hormones and that sort of thing, as well as looking at our gut and food sensitivity test and things like that as well. So, but for blood work, we don't typically draw in the office.
Some of the labs that we do are done with in-home, at-home kits, where
Right.
you can do your finger stick or sample collections at home and then send them directly to the lab.
Right.
Really convenient that way.
I like to get stuck in the arm and get all those tubes of blood drawn out of there. I want to know it all. So,
We can get you there.
all right, so, So do you do women's health? I think Kimberly, Vicki was just talking about that. So big advocate on what she was just talking about with women's health. So they're big into women's health. Trish is saying functional medicine should be pinnacle of the Western medicine. Functional medicine to me is keeping you healthy, right? And not just treating you after you've already gotten sick, right? This keeps that it's my opinion, my impression that this will keep you from getting sick. This is keeping you at optimal levels. And I want to talk about gut health in just a second, because I know Sarah's big on that, and the gut is where everything comes from, right? Yes, she smiles, she loves that. But not just throwing pills at the problem. So Trish, I totally agree with that. Gary Winkle, I'm tired of taking pills for every little thing, and that's the thing. If you go ahead and you go and you treat you're not treating it, you're just keeping yourself operating at a high level, and that's what I like.
Yeah, you can kind of dig in and see why are you taking all those pills and fix that underlying cause. If the car light's on the car, you don't just put new tires on it, you figure out what exactly is going on. You
Yeah,
don't
you gotta
just
get that wheel
throw-
alignment right,
Yeah.
else those tires get
Yeah,
torn
there
up.
you go.
Exactly, that's
Just
exactly
keep
it.
taking pills forever unless you fix a problem.
Right,
Yeah.
that's
So
exactly.
even if you
Yeah.
are sick, we can still help you.
That's a good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
And keep you healthy, right?
Yes.
So the Ghost Rider here comes up with multiple heart issues. I'm very limited on any hormone treatments, and that's what my father-in-law tells me that his heart doctor tells him. So I'm a very common sense type guy, right? The heart is what? It's probably your biggest muscle in your body. So to me, keeping your hormones up, and again, you guys are the doctors, I'm not. I just know what works for me. But my father-in-law keeps telling me, just like the Ghost Rider's telling me, that their doctors don't want them on hormone therapy.
And that's, I think, goes back to that black box warning as far as them from the WHI saying that hormones cause heart disease or cause cancer or cause those other things. Again, I'm not going to say that hormones are for absolutely everyone. We definitely, do it case by case and the dosage and the route, and what we would do is all dependent, and takes follow-up testing and making sure that you're tolerating it well. But it doesn't cause blood clots or cause those things. So it's something that would be, look at the whole picture and see are hormones best for you.
Okay, so so the Ghost Rider says, with multiple heart issues, I'm very limited on any hormone treatments. We just talked about that. But then he goes on to say, but being tired all the time is getting old.
Yeah.
So I don't subscribe to that, right? And
Right.
you guys don't subscribe to that either. It's like you don't have to be tired all the time.
Right.
It's not just all about getting old and accepting the fact, oh, I'm getting old and that's why, I can't walk very well and all of that stuff. So that's kind of, my whole take on it. I've got an uncle, he can barely get out of his chair. And it's like, man, you got to get up and going. Because once you stop moving, it's all over.
That's
and if
right.
you can't get up out of that chair to get moving, again, you have to be able to do whatever it takes to even get going. Because I like to exercise a lot. I work out a lot. I swim. I work out with weights. And this is what helps me, keeps me doing that, where I feel like that's going to keep me in tip-top fitness and not slow down and to the point of no return. A lot of these people, a lot of my family members are pretty much at the point of no return. So, I don't want to get that way. My father-in-law says, he calls me Miller. Oh, Miller, when you hit 70, man, it's downhill. I said, I got a trick for that, Pops. So I said, okay, Pops, I hit 70 today. So it's all downhill, right? And I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. All right, do you ever get referrals from TRICARE or the VA?
Not usually from TRICARE or the VA. It's more so from some of the primary care doctors in the area or friends and things like that we've helped, not necessarily from TRICARE.
What is TRICARE?
It's an insurance, I believe, like TRICARE, Medicare.
Government,
Yeah.
for the veterans, they have TRICARE for life.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, so let's see. We had microphone problems, right? What does an initial appointment consist of? Blood testing, cognitive testing, etc.?
So we start off generally with a wellness consultation or even just a discovery call where we just kind of talk to you and find out exactly what is driving you to look for healthcare and what your primary problems are. And then have you come in for a wellness consultation where we could take a deep dive and we can really just listen and find out just exactly what's happening. And that will kind of guide us as far as which blood tests we want to do, which tests we want to go into, and then from that, then we can come back together with a treatment plan where it's really spelled out specifically based on your significant findings. And it's different for everybody. Some people it may be that it's hormone related. It could be related, like you said, you wanted to talk about some gut health, and we will get into that a little bit, but where's the inflammation coming from? And then the other thing is that you mentioned, Ira, about the other things that you do other than just taking the testosterone. You talked about you work out a lot, you're lifting the weight. So we also address the lifestyle changes that have to come along with it, because if we were to just say that we're going to give you some hormones or just give you a supplement, then we're no different than the traditional medicine in that we're just throwing pills at it. We have to address the whole picture, what else is going on in there. And it does take some effort and some sacrifice. You have to make some changes. You can't keep doing what you've always done if you want
Right.
to make a change.
Well, that's the definition of insanity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll share with you. This is why I like to go to Quest, because they'll send you to Quest. But Christian, if you can
Bring that to the camera.
yeah, and just kind of scroll like that, you can kind of see. Well, here's some tests right there. There's all kind of tests that Sarah does, and there's just part of them. And if you look, I have a whole record, and I can watch. They have a graph that shows me where my levels are at for each of these things. So it's really helpful if once you go to Quest and you sign up for a My Quest, and then every time you have some kind of testing done. And like I said, I've been doing this for 2007. If you look I don't know if you can see that, but you have some green over here, some red over here. This is what they kind of go off of, Sarah and Vicky go off of, and they'll show you, they'll tell you why, and they are treating your deficiencies basically is what's happening. So as I go through, you can, Christian, put that close-up camera on me, okay? There you go. So as you can maybe see there, you can see some of the greens, the reds, and so Sarah takes a look at that stuff, and then she goes, okay, well, we got to treat, the red areas where you're deficient, like this ferritin.
Yeah,
That was my iron.
not good.
Not good.
Makes you feel run down, tired, fatigued.
Exactly.
Can cause palpitations, all kinds of different things. And so that's why we don't just look at the hormones. That's why we take a deeper look at all of the labs, because multiple different things can make you feel the same way. And so we could be giving him all the testosterone in the world, but unless we treat all of those other things too, we're not going to get him to feeling his best.
Yeah, feeling my peak.
You kind of talk about where it shows the red and the green, and the green labs are what traditional lab values would say are within the normal range. So sometimes, even though it may show up green on your lab, we may say, but
It's still not right.
just not quite right. We need to tweak that one still a little bit more, and it'll make all the difference in the world.
Yeah. And just make little adjustments, and then, but that just takes consistency, right?
Right.
You can't just go in there one time and say, okay, let me do the blood test, fix me, and I'll see you in a year. A lot of times it takes multiple office visits to get it just right, and multiple testing to get it just right. And then you got, like Vicki said, you have to figure out, are these indicators here, are they right? Is that right for you? Is maybe a little bit lower? I know my creatine levels are high, and Sarah's always, you gotta stop taking that creatine. And so much protein. Gotta go to plant-based protein, right?
Well, instead of whey, do plant-based protein instead of the whey, and staying hydrated will help the creatinine levels. Creatine's okay. Creatine's good for the brain and things.
Good. I'd like to hear that.
Staying hydrated.
Yeah, so, all right, so let's see. All right, so we talked about what kind of estrogen therapies are there.
There you go, Sarah.
There's different types of estrogen that we give. There's estradiol and estriol. They work together. It's known as estrogen. Different types of it. You can do creams, patches. There are pills that you can take. There are also pellets. So it just depends on what we're looking at, what we're trying to accomplish with you, and what your goals are, and if you've had estrogen before or not. But that's part of what we kind of tweak to each patient.
Compounding creams?
Yeah, compounded creams.
Yeah.
You can get like pills or patches from the pharmacy, and then the creams are typically compounded.
Yeah, I like, and the pellets, those are those bioidentical?
They are. All the hormones we prescribe are bioidentical. So they're not synthetic. They're made exactly like your body makes them. They're received to the receptors the same way. Typically they're made out of wild yams and converted in the laboratory into a form that you can actually absorb.
So I really got involved with longevity way back when a guy named Dirk Pearson and Sandy Shaw, this was back in the 70s, they wrote a big book, Life Extension, and I really got, intrigued about that way back then. And then Suzanne Summers came up with her book,
Right.
and she talked all about hormone replacement therapy, and I'm like, so that's what got me on the road to wanting to do this, and that's why I've been on the road with hormone replacement therapy as long as I have been, because of some of that, like Suzanne Summers and Dirk Pearson and Sandy Shaw. So a lot of people, I don't think of Dirk Pearson and Sandy Shaw go back so far. You guys probably never even heard of them. But I mean, for me, like, again, it's a balancing act, right? I have to take my testosterone, but I also take, what are those little bitty white pills begin with an A?
The DHEA?
No, the estrogen suppressing pill.
Dim?
The DIM or
It's
anastrozole?
Anastrozole, that's what it is. So, so they'll tweak everything and make sure everything is just right for you. So, hold on, let's see. I think pill-taking surgery can make things worse. I've had plenty of surgeries, I'll tell you. I've had a laminectomy. That was pretty devastating. I've had both shoulders repaired. I've had my biceps reattached. Stuff like that can easily get you down and out, and you're out for the count. But this just kind of keeps me going. So, in addition to the functional medicine, do you use any traditional therapies? That's a good question.
We have to, functional medicine and traditional medicine aren't really competing against each other. You have to use the best of both worlds. We use traditional medicine a lot, maybe for an acute infection where we may have to use antibiotics to treat a UTI or something like that. Or just in some of the testing that we do, the Quest labs that you have are traditional medicine labs. We just kind of add some extra ones on there. And then whenever we interpret those things, we do it under a functional medicine umbrella, or, that's how we interpret those things. It's just a little bit different in how we do that. So, yeah.
So they work together.
Yeah, we use, if you still need blood pressure medication, it's not like we're, don't take your blood pressure medication or that sort of thing. So we try to blend it. We try to heal your body to where you need the least amount of medications possible, but we're not necessarily against them. We're just trying to get you to where your body is doing the best that it can so that you can thrive as long as you can.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you get into recommending supplements? So I can tell you for a fact that when I went over to see Sarah, she's like, okay, now we're going to get into gut health, because those are the pills, those are the supplements that I got prescribed to me to get my gut health up. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So we do supplements. We try to whenever you first come to see us, you typically need more than what you would later on. But we do use them. We use them for hormone replacement therapy to help balance things, for your cortisol. And then as I was talking about, we also use it for gut health. So with gut health, we're looking at your microbiome, the bacteria in your gut. We're looking to see how you're absorbing your food, if you're responding to the food that you're eating. And the reason we do that is because your gut is related to everything. So it is 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So if it's inflamed, you're not digesting things properly, your microbiome isn't right, could be getting sick all the time, you could have a harder time fighting things off. But it also can lead to brain fog, joint pain, as well as those skin issues, as well as those normal issues that you would think of as far as constipation, diarrhea, bloating, indigestion. Even if you don't have those, you could still have issues. So that's why we try to make sure that we're looking at all of your symptoms and just making sure that we're getting to the bottom of everything. And that's just not something that's typically done whenever you go to the doctor. They're not looking at the lining of your gut and how you're absorbing everything and how you're responding to that.
What are pellets? Racer Girl is asking.
They are little pills kind of looking things, but they are implanted underneath your skin, like in the adipose tissue, usually in your buttock area or in the flank for some men, and they stay in there for about 3 to 4 months and they absorb over time, and it helps. It's a way of receiving hormone replacement therapy, so it just gives you a slower dose over a long period of time.
Some people prefer the pellets over having to take injections of the testosterone injections on a weekly or biweekly basis. Sometimes hormones are given through creams and they prefer to do pellets instead of creams and topicals, things like that. So it's more of convenience, and they like the dosages of them.
Yeah.
And I think your gut health has a lot to do with your immune system, right? And so I had prostate cancer at one point, and my doctor was freaking out because I was taking testosterone at the time. This was back in 2009, and I was at Mayo Clinic, and Mayo Clinic is the one that discovered or thought, they were taking my PSA levels, and every year I was going to them for several years, and my PSA levels were going up and up and up. So they wanted to do a biopsy, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing a biopsy. Especially when I found out what a biopsy was. I wasn't doing a biopsy. Well, my functional medicine doctor, Dr. Hall at the time, he goes, yeah, Ira, he goes, it's probably better if you go ahead and do that just to be safe. And then we found out that I had prostate cancer, and a lot of it. 7 of the 10 cores that Mayo did. And then I can get real technical with Gleason scores and the amount that was that they found in each strand that they took out of my prostate. But I went ahead and, again, being the guy that I am in functional medicine and thinking that there has to be a better way, I did a lot of research, and I think many of you have seen the book. I've shown on this live stream many times, and I'll probably show it again after today. Not that they advocate for my book, but it is my show, so I'm going to go ahead and
It's a good one.
talk about that. But I went on this immunotherapy before immunotherapy was even a thing back in 2009. And I just raised my immune system so high that it attacked the cancer. And I went on something called the Budwig protocol diet, and Dr. Johanna Budwig came up with this, but that's for another day, I guess. We're not going to get too far into that, but that's how much, I've really got into this gut health, and because it starts to me with, I started my gut health with a cleansing, and I went on a cleanse, and then that kind of started from there. So I really, really feel like your gut health is very important in keeping your immune system. And I cured my cancer. holistically. No radiation, no surgery, no nothing except this natural, all these natural supplements and this Budwig protocol that I did. So Pat says, "Oh, I loved your book, Ira." So thanks, Pat. And it worked for me. So all I can say is it worked for me. It continues to work for me, and so that's why I wanted to have Sarah and Vicky on today, because to me, functional medicine these days, you're being proactive. When you're instead of reactive, you're being proactive and keeping yourself healthy, and then you won't have as many issues, I think, in the future. So I kind of live by what I preach, and so here we have somebody that says, "Any thoughts on collagen peptides or Hawaiian spirulina?"
I'm not familiar with Hawaiian spirulina. I'm not familiar with that.
I can talk a little bit about peptides myself, because I do peptides as well. There's something called BPC 157. They've called that, and if Andy's out there, my buddy Andy, he never talks on here, but then he'll tell me, "I loved your show," right? I'm like, "Well, why didn't you say something, Andy? You never come on." But Andy's the one that got me into peptides. Andy is he is a lieutenant colonel. He's in his 80s, and he's all about peptides. And he told me about this BPC 157, which they call the Wolverine drug. Why do they call it the Wolverine drug? If you ever saw that movie, The X-Men, Wolverine, if you cut him or shoot him or whatever, his body heals itself. So that BP 157 helps with that. I don't know. Well, I've talked to Sarah about it.
we
Sarah
know
and I
some.
talked about peptides, and they have ipamorelin, which increases your tesamorelin, and ipamorelin will help increase your GH levels. So,
Helps to build the muscle and burn the fat and things like that. Helps support your efforts in the gym and your lifestyle changes and
Yeah.
things like that.
and that BP 157, I think, is really good for your
Recovery.
BPC 157, Ghost Rider. So you can look that up under peptides.
And then I think somebody mentioned something about collagen and colostrum. Both of those are good as well. It just depends on what you have going on, but they're both helpful for healing the gut, helping the gut lining and things like that.
So when she talks about healing the gut lining, we're looking at it on the cellular level. So it's a little bit different than, whenever you go for a colonoscopy and they're looking at the tissues and they can see polyps and, fistula or diverticuli and things like that. We're looking at really on that cellular level, trying to make sure that the bacterias are balanced the way that they're supposed to, so that your foods are digested. All the foods that you eat, you want to glean all the good things from it, so that gut has to be healthy.
Right. And absorb. What about, let me ask you about leaky gut. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what you were just
Yeah,
talking about.
that's what we were saying, whenever we're talking about on the cellular level. So leaky gut is whenever on that cellular level that we should have tight junctions so that antibodies and toxins and stuff can't get through that and leak into your bloodstream and cause inflammation and irritability or hormone shifts or those kind of things. So whenever your gut microbiome is not, it has these little gaps, and then some of the foods that you eat and different toxins that are in your body can leak through those junctions and then cause illnesses. So we kind of tighten those things up with things like colostrum and immune globulins, different probiotics, digestive enzymes, different things. It depends on what symptoms the patients are having as far as what we really need to and how we target that. Yeah.
That's great, yeah.
I had a patient that that came to see me, and he'd been struggling for many years with a lot of bloating and irritable bowel syndrome. It's very, very common, you know, a lot of diarrhea, constipation, but a lot of abdominal pain. And he'd been struggling for 4 years, had multiple tests, multiple doctors, and really wasn't getting anywhere. And he was referred to us by his PCP. And 2 months in, he says that after 2 months of being on the protocol, it was life-changing for him, that we were able to accomplish more in that amount of time than he had been able to with anyone else in the last 4 years. So it really makes you feel good that you can help somebody and they can finally go, oh, what a relief. It's really,
Sure.
yeah, really good.
That's what it's all about. DL2 says it's a blue-green algae from Hawaii.
Oh.
Gives me energy. A superfood gives me energy high in a KB12. So I take B all the time myself. I do take, oh gosh, what is it? Super Greens, I believe is the supplement I'll take with my protein shakes. So that is, I'll have to look into that. So Hawaiian Superlina, I'll look into that because I really feel strongly about those supplements, those natural supplements.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. If you asked a question and I didn't get your question answered, ask me again because I might have accidentally passed you by. Let me just look through my chats here.
I think you might have hit all of them except the latest one.
We take collagen with Verisol. Are you familiar with?
Not with Verisol, not necessarily. I know there's a lot of collagen supplements out there that they have a lot of different additives and different things in it, but I'm not that one.
What about Ion Gut Health? Are you familiar
Ion
with
Gut Health.
Ion Gut
Curious
Health?
if you have an opinion.
Yeah.
Is that a supplement that you're looking at? I'm not familiar with Ion. We use several different supplements, but that's not one that we use. I know there's a ton out there.
Functional medicine is definitely a broad field, and it just seems like it's growing and growing and growing, you know, as far as the things that are out there to help. And especially one of the things that we're really discovering is that, you know, we live in a toxic world, and that's where a lot of our problems come from. We think that, you know, we're doing all the right things, but we're just constantly exposed to plastic fibers, you know, in our food and the pesticides that are on things, and our body takes a toll. Even anesthesia that you get whenever you have surgery, antibiotics that you've taken over the years, that's what's causing a lot of the problems with the gut lining, and why it helps so much whenever you finally heal that, then everything else that you're doing works better.
Yeah, when I've had my surgeries, I take, oh gosh, what's the name of that? It's volcanic clay that takes the heavy metals out of
A
your,
binder to take all, like do a detox with a binder to get rid of all that. Yeah.
Great Plains makes it, I'll remember it in a second. Excuse me. Ghost Rider says I might be able to use some of the supplements to get off some of these 11 meds I take every night.
Ghost Rider.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
Jamie Miller piped in there. If you go on a special diet to repair the leaky gut, is it something you have to stay on the rest of your life, or just something to repair and then reintroduce foods?
We typically are able to reintroduce the foods, not necessarily get back to every single thing you were eating before, because a lot of times our standard American diet is at least partially why we're having to do this in the first place, but it doesn't stay as strict as what it is in the beginning. The first few months are usually a little bit more strict, and then we're able to add back in different foods, and then even the ones that we wouldn't suggest for you to eat all the time, you could have occasionally, and it's not going to affect you the same way. It's just getting that balance and seeing what you're responding to the most and what you would need to avoid the longest time and things like that.
The funny part about that is that once you're off of that, your taste for those things change, and you really you think that you're going to want to go back on to some of those foods and that you're going to want that again, but you don't. And it was just really surprising.
Yeah, you don't
And
crave it
especially
as
whenever
much.
you eat it and it makes you feel bad and you recognize, oh, that's the thing. That's what's causing me to have my joint pain or foggy brain. Yeah.
And what is it, these foods you're allergic to, or what causes certain foods to react to your body?
It's the antibodies that they produce, that causes inflammation in the cells or causes inflammation in your brain that causes the brain fog. Or inflammation that goes into your body, it can settle in your joints. So different foods would be different for different people.
It's from that leaky gut because those particles are coming through, your body's responding to it that way. So that's why everybody's responds to different foods. So even those healthy foods that we would, like say for me, avocado was on my list, or pineapple and different things like that are healthy, but because there's so much inflammation in the gut, your body's now responding to those foods and causing inflammation and antibodies, and they could either be an allergy or a sensitivity, which is why we test for both.
So you can test for if you're allergic to certain foods or sensitive to certain foods?
Yeah, the test we use is actually really cool. It is a finger stick and it tests 4 different ways. So it's going to test what foods are you allergic to, and then how are you responding to those? Are you building up an immune response to that? And it's also going to see, are you having a sensitivity response, because it sends off different antibodies. You have IgE for allergy and then IgG for sensitivities. And then if you do have a sensitivity, how are you responding to that? There's a complement that could make that actually a lot worse. So we see which ones, how you're responding to it and what your body's doing.
I want that test next time I come in.
Come see me. We'll do that one next.
Okay. We're gonna do it. Anything you want to offer?
I think we've covered a lot of it. We just dig into things a little bit differently. Go ahead.
I just don't want to see people out there suffering whenever they really don't have to. We have a lot of answers that maybe you haven't been able to find somewhere else. And if you want to just really sit down and have somebody listen to you, talk to you about those kind of things and find the answers, I just want to share my story because I feel like it can resonate maybe with so many people that are listening that I was having I'm almost 70. It won't be very long. But I was at this place where I was really feeling like I had a lot of joint pain, and I couldn't get up in the morning without having to stand next to the bed and stretch, and this was every muscle and joint in my body. My hands were hurting, my feet would hurt. I would get out of the car and have to stand next to the car before I could take off walking because every bone in my body just hurt. And I went to my doctor, and he gave me prednisone, which was great. Prednisone's a great drug. It really worked. It helped decrease all that inflammation. My joints didn't hurt. My muscles didn't hurt. I had a lot of energy. But we know you can't stay on prednisone forever. It can destroy your blood vessels in your skin and a lot of other complications that go along with that whenever you struggle if you stay on a prednisone. So we found through functional medicine and through food sensitivity tests that there were a lot of foods that I love and would eat every day that were causing a lot of inflammation. My list was way long, and I just eliminated all of those things and took the supplements that we use to help heal that gut lining. And I lost 27 pounds. I don't have to take prednisone. I don't have joint pain. I can almost keep up with my grandkids, but they're pretty active, but they're amazing. So I feel like it saved my life. I thought that I was going to be on a walker and, going into my 80s and suffering with dementia and bone fractures and who knows whatever else. But anyway, I feel amazing, and I'm just really grateful for that. Yeah.
So that was from that test you took to show
The
you
food
what foods-
sensitivity test, that
Yeah.
was, one of the places that we started, and, checking the gut and finding out just exactly, the bacteria and stuff that was going on there. So we did a lot of the different tests, but yeah, that was my story.
That's great.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to, and I think maybe over time things can change for you too. One thing
Absolutely.
that you might not have been allergic to, you might have all of a sudden developed a sensitivity to
Correct.
it.
Right.
So it's probably a good idea to keep checking from time to time.
If you're
and
having
see-
any symptoms or if you're having any issues, absolutely.
Yeah, That's why I'll come over and take that test. So let's see. All right. Well, I think we had some other. So Bentonite clay, yes. Deborah, you're awesome. Thank you very much. I had a. Sometimes when you're on camera and you're kind of under under pressure, you freeze up. But yes, bentonite clay is what took away all those heavy metals out of my body. So I'm a big advocate of that for sure. Taste texture aversion, avoid seed oils. Yes, trying to avoid seed oils has been.
Yeah.
So what do you? So I try to use olive oil all the time. Is there anything that you feel like people need to stay away from?
I like olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil. Those are the three that I cook a lot with coconut oil. If you get the refined coconut oil, you don't really have, it doesn't taste like coconut, but it tolerates a high heat a lot better than even olive oil does. But all of those are better than the canola oil or corn oil.
Yeah, I think those are poisonous for people.
They're hard. You don't necessarily, I saw somebody say something about their spicy food. You don't necessarily have to give up the hot and spicy food. That's not always what is the biggest culprit.
And it might not be you might not be allergic
Right.
to it, So, but the main thing is get tested.
Yeah.
Find out what it is. So, Ghost Rider, I'm telling you, buddy, what you need is something like what these ladies have to offer with the testing, the blood test, the sensitivity test. Find out what it is that you might have an aversion to and you don't even know it. Maybe they can put you on natural supplements, not necessarily like hormone replacement therapy, that can make you feel a whole lot better. So I'm going to pull up their website one more time. So there is Sarah and Vicky, that's their website. We'll kind of come up here and kind of go through their website a little bit. What's this little video about?
We're just talking about what we do. We kind of went over it tonight, but just how functional medicine is different than traditional medicine.
What's your website? What's it? Omega?
Health, it's omegahealthic.com.
Omega Health IC for integrative care. Okay. And see? So any of you who are here in the villages, or you can just kind of reach out to them. I guess you can do Zoom calls, right?
Yeah, we can see anybody in Florida, or if you're out of Florida, we just have to see you in Florida for the first visit, and then we can see you out of state via Zoom calls and stuff as well.
Okay. And so there you go. You can go through their website, maybe answer some questions, contact them. There's their address, 910 Old Camp Road, Building 110, and Suite 112 in the Villages, Florida. Telephone number. Christians put all this in our chat for us, but just kind of wanting to point that out on the website. There's a map that shows you exactly where they are. I really feel like, you know what? To me, there's no risk at all to just seeing what y'all can discover for somebody. Get out there and do your blood tests, and go ahead and get your sensitivity test, and then just try it. And I think you'd be amazed at what it'll do. So Racer Girl is asking, do you take Florida Blue? So talk to them a little bit about your little structure on what you do as far as payment goes.
With what we do, it's not typically covered under insurance. We do things because we're digging deeper. We're looking at things a lot differently. The testing that we do, the supplements are not typically covered by insurance, but you are able to use that for your blood work and things like that, for like the serum blood work. You can use it for that.
Yep, and so me being on, well, Medicare and Medicare supplements, but also you have a program where you can have access to you as much as they want, right?
Yeah, so we do programs initially where we kind of bundle up the care for the first 3 to 9 months or so. From there, that's where we're doing that initial assessment, that initial plan where we're digging really deep and getting everything settled. And then that includes, everything you need during that time. And then after that, we transition into a membership where we follow you along after that, and it's a membership fee each
Yeah.
month, and it just depends on what your care is and what we're needing to do for you for that point.
We found that the programs really work well for people because it bundles things like she said. It bundles, the supplements that you'll need for that period of time are already included. The specialty testing that we do is already included in all that, so you don't have any surprise expenses. Well, this test is going to cost this much, or this supplement now is going to cost this much. It's all into one thing. We've got all of it laid out for you, and we're here to join hand in hand to try to walk you through that whole process from beginning to end. And
Yeah, so that's the thing. My insurance takes care of all my blood tests, right? So all I really pay is I pay them for just my office visits, right? And then, so I really feel like it's a great program. That's why I asked you to come on and talk with everybody, and hopefully you'll come back
Yeah.
and from time to time and catch up. I'm sure everybody will have more questions for you.
Absolutely.
So Kimberly asked, do you all take Medicare?
Medicare, no, it's the same as, you can still use it for your insurance and things, or for your blood work, but not for the program necessarily itself.
Yeah.
But for the other blood work and stuff, you can for sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Very good. Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Ira.
it, Vicki,
No problem.
Sarah,
All right, thank you.
I need to come see you. Put me down.
Yeah,
I'll
all right.
kind of call you when I figure out what my schedule looks like.
I know, I
Very
think
good.
I reached out recently, said, where you been?
I know, it's like. it's
I
been
know,
rough.
life
Now
is
that-
busy,
Now
but-
that I got past this birthday thing,
Yeah,
I think I can figure it out now.
yeah.
So,
Got to make time for the health. It's got to stay priority, right?
absolutely.
Thanks for letting us help you celebrate
Yes.
your birthday.
My pleasure.
great.
Thank you
Yes.
for joining us.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Right.
take care, you guys.
You guys
Thank
take
you
care.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
I'll be talking with you. I'll call you tomorrow, Sarah,
Okay.
and I'll figure out what my schedule looks like. So very productive conversation. I feel like anybody
Yeah.
who's checking in later, go back and watch the program from the
Oh,
beginning.
you want this back?
So yeah, don't take our microphones.
Did you get this off of Amazon, or where'd you get this on?
I think we bought them from Amazon.
Yeah, I believe so. They're great. Yeah, and I think I've seen. Don't you do some? Do you do some videos?
I did do a few of them. I haven't done any recently, but I need to get a microphone to make it easier because there's so much background.
Yeah, this just plugs right into that little receiver up on top of the camera, and it's a Bluetooth, and there you go.
Yeah, I like your setup in here.
Thanks.
You don't leave it set up in here all the time, do you?
No.
It's just for this, and then you said it's normally in your office. Is
Mhm.
where you keep it.
Yep. We usually have a green screen behind us.
What'd you put on the green screen on the video? Is it
Yep.
green? It's not green. It's usually like a.
I can show the audience. I have the still of it if you want to show what our normal
Oh, go ahead. So that's what our background looks like up against our green screen.
Oh, okay.
So it shows all my awards, shows all my licenses and certificates. So that's kind of what people, and then I'll be in the middle of that. But in here, we're just live. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your time and letting us come and be a part.
It's wonderful.
My pleasure. All right, everybody, we will get into the rest of our program here now. And if Christian, you can pull me up, let's do, yeah, Racer Girl. Thank you for that. So I want to go ahead and do marketing. Let's go ahead and do a marketing update for what's going on in the villages, and we will dive into that. Christian, can you pull me into where? There we go. All right. So market update. This is MLS and search. First of all, you know what? I was thinking. What was I thinking about? I was trying to. Oh, I know what it was. There somewhere on here shows homes that price increase, price decrease, and how that works. Let's see. Can I pull that up somewhere? I thought it was. I was just thinking about that today, and then I was trying to get set up with Sarah and Vicky, but I know that was on here. Oh, here it is. Okay, Market Watch. So, new listings. We have, what is that, 40, what is that, 42, Christian? Thank you. So, let's see, new listing. And I don't really know. Let's see, 44 new listings. And I don't know in what period of time these new listings are. I'm thinking maybe the week. But the one thing I was, so here's the one thing I was really curious about, because we as real estate agents, I know me in particular, I hate it when I have to ask for a price reduction. See here, price decrease. So 2 people increased their prices. Let me see, this really doesn't tell me in what period of time, does it?
Well, they can do customized.
Let's see, the villages, and does it give a period of time somewhere? I don't see where it does.
What about additional features?
Well, additional features just adds to up here.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if a date would be one of those.
But if a date was, it's not active right now. Those additional features, you have to click and then they come in here. So that's kind of how that works. See how it says add? So that, I don't know. I would say, I'm surprised it doesn't have a time frame in here. But anyways, the main reason I wanted to show this is this really helps in telling what the market's doing, okay? So what is that, 81?
Yeah, 81.
81 homes had a price decrease, 54. All right, well, 54 when pending. So let's kind of do this. If I do quick and active in the villages, so 553 matches. Now, I tell you what, I checked this probably about 4 hours ago, and there were 55 homes. So I know 2 have sold within the last 4 hours. But here it gives, let's see, there's no price decrease in our date or range. But pending, we just saw, what did we see, 54 when pending? We'll take that out. And let's just do a week. Let's see how many went pending in a week. So this says 50 matches went pending in the last 7 days. In the last 8 days. So I'm going to say, based on this pending, that all these figures that we have here are within the last week. Because that last one said 53 in 8 days. And then this says pending. Where is it? Pending. Oh, here we are. That says 54. So I'm going to just probably take a wild guess and say this is within the last week that all these homes went pending. So this says 57. Now, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It was showing 54, and then when I click on it, it shows 57. But I guess it's a good general, where are we? Pending, yeah, right here. So this number says 54, but when we click on it, it says 57. But my main target today was how many homes had a price decrease. All right, so all right, so let's see. Darashan Schenger, 616. The one that Ira posted on the golf course. Wow, awesome. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Because Darashan, that is the one that I did some updates to. And the one he's talking about, and we just lowered the price actually a little bit on that. Let me go over to here. No, I got it. Thank you, though. Willow Grove, this home here, it's good to go. And I did a great video on it. So now we've got it to where this thing, brand new appliances. Look at that granite countertop. Beautiful. Brand new faucets. I don't know if we can see the faucets in here. I probably should have done a little more of a close-up. Brand new flooring. Took all the carpet out of this. Put LVP everywhere. Bedrooms. Anywhere there's not tile, we put LVP. I'm going to have to go in there and I'm going to have to show off these faucets. Again, I want to really point out to this home, these pocket doors slide into the wall up here. So rather than just pocketing into one slider each, there are 4 sliders, 2 go this way and 2 go that way. Opens it up completely, and it is awesome. You've got a built-in workstation here in the front guest bedroom. And then this is your other guest bedroom. We put granite in here. We're not showing the faucets. We're going to have to go in there and do some new still pictures to show off the faucets. Yeah. So I took these right as soon as the granite went in. I was so excited to get this. But Christian, remind me, we got to go take new pictures and really, especially in the kitchen too, show that awesome faucet. So yeah, on the golf course, and we are now at 5:38.9. So this is, for being on a championship golf course, this is the Arnold Palmer executive course. Not executive, Arnold Palmer championship course. So you come from over here, Arnold Palmer Country Club is, where's Arnold? Right here. So this is the Arnold Palmer Country Club. And then the golf course kind of goes down this way. It also crosses over because there's three nines, 9 holes on, but this one happens to be right on, let's see, where can I, and, oh, not only, I want to tell you, not only, and this is a rarity, so we're on the other side of, from Callaway, we're over here. This home has enough room for a pool. So many people are looking for homes with pools. This does not have a pool. It's not going to have a pool at that price, but it has room if you want to put a pool. So this offers so much. It's just brand new roof. I don't even think I reflect that beautiful black roof that's on this. Oh, actually, that came from the mapper. I couldn't change that if I wanted to. Yeah, they don't have an updated picture. All right, so let's see.
Close to shopping as well, Darren says.
Very close to all the shopping. Oh, man, they just put a new Costco in there. I believe they put a new Target in Spanish Plains. They've got, oh man, they have Sprouts over there, Hobby Lobby. What's that other natural foods place?
Whole Foods?
It's not
Fresh Market.
Fresh Market. Let me tell you about Fresh Market. Fresh Market has the best chicken wings going. I mean, I even forgot about that. It just kind of, oh, nice. Oh, I see what you did. Okay, you zoomed in on me from 2 cameras. All right, cool. All right, yes, Costco, Starbucks. You know, Fresh Market is awesome. I love Fresh Market. Racer Girl went to Costco for the first time today. All right, so let me go back a little bit. Thank you, Darrison. Thank you very much. We really created an awesome home. I've got one other thing to do with this home, one last thing. And I have to paint the front door. Actually, I'm not going to paint it. I'm going to stain it, okay? So, then I'm golden. But that home for that price, with all those upgrades, I mean, you're going to love it.
Trish had a question.
I'm here for all the knowledge, Racer. Okay. Where's Trish?
I think you've already scrolled past it.
Did I scroll past her?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pat, they'll be back for sure. And, you know, I just want to try to stay as informative as I can. I think I'm going to reach out to Katina. Pentezis. I haven't had her on for a long time. She is an attorney who does wills and stuff like that, and she's going to get me. I just turned 70. Do I have a will? No, I do not. So maybe we can do a little bartering with Katina. So I need to get an estimate. All right. Yes. So Trish, thank you for reminding me about that. You guys, I was gone all week. Left on Tuesday. Where did I go? Well, it was my 89-year-old aunt's birthday in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So my wife and I went from here to Chattanooga on Tuesday. Spent the night at my cousin's house, got in the car on Wednesday, drove up to Gatlinburg. Love Sevierville, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. Never been to Dolly Parton's Dollywood, but man, I got to get there one day. But, you know, the thing about that area right now, this time of the year, it's all lit up with Christmas lights. It's unbelievable. And I didn't even get a chance. Well, so selfishly, I didn't want to be driving through the mountains to where I was going. I was going to Dillard, Georgia. If anybody knows about Dillard, Georgia and the Dillard House, well, that's where we went. So I took my wife there in September. They're doing a total renovation of the Dillard House, but we still went. They're building a 3-story hotel there. They're just doing, and the guy, I was asking about when the renovations were going to be done and stuff like that, and he took me on a tour, and I went, and the guy was nice enough just to tour me all around. All right, so look, I'm going to give you a few pictures of my trip. So this is what I got for my birthday. Can I click on that? And oh, it's all backwards. So I got this is a hat that my lovely people who help me out, I don't even like to call them employees because they mean much more to me than just being an employee. But 1955, so I'm wearing this today. I'm not old, I'm a classic. So there, born to be awesome. I didn't get the 1955 that's down there at the bottom. Okay, so.
You should be able to use the arrow keys, I think.
Arrow keys, cool. All right, so where are we? We are at a place called Lake Raven Hotel and Restaurant. So I didn't stay there this time around, but I do plan on when I go back, simply because the Dillard House, like I was saying, is on total renovation. So what's this up here, Christian?
That's your zoom. That's showing how zoomed in you are.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Lake Raven, this is what their little hotel looks like. They kind of advertise Satava mattresses. I've seen those on TV ads, but I want to sleep on one. So that's a big plus for me over there. This is the renovation they're doing to the Dillard House. So this portico here used to be on the front, well, on the other side. This is the back side now of where people will come drive around, and then they'll park here and they'll check in to the Dillard House now. This is a brand new addition that they did. They put in a great fireplace. The guy told me the owner of his company has a big elk head they're going to put up here because his wife won't let him put it in their house. And on the back side here, this is where you check in. I didn't get a picture of the check-in, but this is what it looks like. The brand new. This is an addition, and this is where you used to drive under a portico and check in, but they've totally changed it around now, so it's on the side over here instead of over here. And they made this addition. Some beams, I was just kind of looking at those beams that they had done. This is the new restaurant, and so they've totally renovated the restaurant. And along these windows, there's a view that you would not believe. It's fantastic. This is the new bar. So as soon as you walk in the front doors, bam, you see this brand new bar sitting right here. And then over here is where the restaurant is, where I just showed you. Now, I didn't know we were going inside. This little doorway right here is where I took the picture from here. So I'm taking that picture there from this window. So if we go like this, now I put my cell phone up to the window just to take a picture. I didn't know the guy was going to let me go inside. But man, I mean, they've got the place pretty well under construction, I'll have to say. Any of you been to the Dillard House, you recognize the convention center, and they moved the kitchen or the restaurant over into this area of the convention center. But behind that, so there's a road. Let me get my bearings here. Oh, so this is the road to go into to get to the convention center. So this road here now is brand new going to the back of the convention center. So this is the new addition that they did to the restaurant and the check-in area. This is the 3-story hotel that they're putting in. So this is where our rooms were, so I could hear them working in the morning. Check out this awesome dessert. Unbelievable. So Vandiver, Vandiver. Now we're downtown Calhoun. Calhoun is the major, it's not a major, it's a little city you pass through to get to Dillard. But they have, oh man, they have awesome food at Vandiver. If you're ever in Clayton, Georgia, you want a great meal, great drinks. The guy fixed my whiskey sour perfectly with egg white, with the right cocktail cherry. This guy dialed it in for sure. We're going now to Toccoa Falls, right? There's the city of Toccoa. I have been to visit the Toccoa Falls 3 times, and I have yet to see those falls because it's in where a private Christian college is. So back here, that's the where the guard gate is. They just happened to have left it open, and there was no guard right then. We just drove through, got to where the falls were. They were closed. 3rd time was not the charm, I hate to tell you. Where are we here? Oh, so I went to go look at some property, 27 acres in Toccoa. This was supposed to be where there was supposed to be a little creek. It's all dried up. That's the creek. I was a little disappointed. So no 27 acres for me. But look at the beautiful, man, the trees were just spectacular. And this is the mountain ranges. Hey everybody, Ira Miller here. This is what I made from the outlook of the mountain. Looking at Rolex watches, dreaming about maybe I can get a Rolex over there. That actually had really good prices for this Rolex. What was this? This was, it's a 1988 watch, however. Hey everybody, here you go. Here's the price of this. $13,800. That's pretty good price for, this is a Submariner. So any of you out there really love me? Really, really love me? $14,950 maybe for this Submariner. This is awesome. And then they had, I didn't have it on there. Where are we going? Back? Wait a minute.
You might have to zoom out first.
Oops. Okay, we'll jump ahead here. Then we went to Highlands, North Carolina. Man, this is all there is to do at Highlands. Look at all the stuff. There we go. All the stuff to do. Main Street. We spent $100 at Kilwins. Is Kilwins on here? Usually we'll go to this tea shop, the Spice and Tea Exchange. I love that place. But, and then I guess the State Jewelers of Highlands was where I was looking at those watches. But Kilwins, stay away from Kilwins. I got the best fudge, and I don't need to be eating sugar for sure. The Ugly Dog Public House. If any of you have ever been to Highlands, you have been to the Ugly Dog. This is a great place. They've got the Ugly Dog Public House in Highlands as well as Cashiers.
What's a public house?
It's a restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Restaurant and bar. So, Old Edwards, I did a little intro or a little, video for you all in front of Old Edwards. 5-star, very expensive. No, we did not stay at Old Edwards Inn. Video in up here. So there's some land, 900-foot waterfall. I gotta ask them. I wonder how much. I guarantee you, this 8.17 acres with this waterfall, guaranteed over $5 million. I guarantee you. Anybody out there want to make that telephone call and then get back with me and tell me how much it was? That would be pretty cool. We're just showing some colors here. My daughter got me this in Cozumel. So I was just showing off my shirt that I was wearing that she got me. There's me and my lovely bride hanging out, enjoying the weather was perfect. Perfect weather. Booked me a massage online. This girl here, well, I got to say she looks nothing like her picture, but after all that driving, I definitely needed a massage. So she hooked me up and felt a lot better. Went to Friends. This is a great place. Best chicken wings in the world here at Friends at downtown Clayton. So if you're into chicken wings, that's the place. We had an awesome waitress too. Full moon from our room there. For some reason, I can never get that. All right, you guys, we're going through Cherokee, North Carolina. Look at the beautiful trees. Check this out. Elk everywhere. Isn't that cool? Look at the horns on those guys. This is a big tourist attraction. These elk are not enclosed in a fence. They can come and go as they please. They're coming for us, Christian. So yes, in amongst the background of that beautiful mountain, there's another view of some elk. I sent this to Blakely. Blakely, believe it or not, if any of you know her, she's a big hunter. I said, get your guns, Blake, get your guns. Imagine they'd probably throw you in jail if you ever shot one of these. Look at that view. This is why I go up to, this is North Carolina, Tennessee state line, elevation 5,000 feet. And this is just driving through. Forecast highs. That's the highs. 69. That was great. The weather was wonderful. Now it's a little cool up here now. Oh boy, my wife loves Blake Shelton. So I said, here, get over here. Take a picture with Blakey.
One of those should be going on.
There we go. Gatlinburg Welcome Center. And we just visited a graveyard. Look, born 1830, and that's pretty amazing. This is my family's graveyard, actually. McKinney is actually my dad's last name. So we won't bore you with these. What else do we have? Anything? There's the family all together. My 89-year-old aunt. There she is. Loving life. We just took her all out to. And look at that big fat stomach after I ate. So that was a lot of fun. That's where we went Tuesday. Went straight up there.
Gary thinks it's snowing there right now.
In Tennessee?
He just says snowing up there now.
Man, see, I would have loved that. All right, going back to Trish. Trish Navarro, I need an estimate to repair the damage, install new baseboard, repair screw holes in pink that the contractor did when they tried to install my Murphy bed. Can you recommend one? Yes, Trish, I will call you tomorrow and I'll come over and check it out because I need to lay eyes on it so I can know who to put the proper person over there to your house, okay? We will do that for you. Oh, over here. Okay. So, all right. Well, close to shopping. And I guess, is there, oh, there's more. Yeah, okay, cool. How come it's not scrolling, Christian? Oh, that's why. I'm scrolling with the wrong one. All right. Let's see. Okay, so we talked to Trish. Yes. Okay, thanks. All right, so let's keep going. Yes, you are right, Darrison. Thank you very much for that. The price is unbelievable for a gardenia. And if you haven't watched the video, you really need to watch the video because I point out all the upgrades, all the extra things that they did when they built this home. Let's see. Can you handle spice with your wings? I get hot. If I'm not sweating up here, then those wings aren't right.
Christian agrees.
All right, so let's see. When are we going to Artman's? I would bet that y'all have been to Artman's already without me, but we do need to go to Artman's because not to take away from Four Rivers, which we did the live stream last week, but that brisket is the brisket, the ribs are to die for at Artman's.
Those little combo balls they have.
Oh yeah, what do they call those?
It's like 3 different meats in there.
Yeah,
So good.
it's monkey or
Monkey balls or something like that.
yeah.
We won't be able to do a Monday night live there though, since they're closed on Mondays.
Yeah, that's right. I think they're closed Monday and Tuesday at Artman's. Unfortunately, my taste in homes is twice that my budget is. Okay. True, true. I'll be happy with 1,600 square feet, but I'd much be happier with 2,100 and a 3-car garage, of course. Ghost Rider, nice to have a 2-car with a golf cart, though. What is that? I like a whiskey sour. Love an old fashioned. Yes, they had some killer old fashions there at Vandiver. You know what? I'm going to give them a shout out. Be real quick. Let's kind of switch on over. Let's see if I can't dial in where we were at. So, get out of here. All right. Oops. Put a 3 on the end of that. There it is. The Vandiver at Clay. Oh, yeah, that's a Yelp. I want to go to their real website. Is it on there?
They might have a link on the Yelp.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if they have a link.
Oh, I saw, they had a phone number. I didn't see it. No, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you, Racetrack and the Dairy Queen don't even compare to this place. Darn, they don't have I guess they don't have a website. Wow, that's crazy. That really is.
I guess they're so good they don't even need one.
I guess, man, because photos. Yeah, that place is killer. Then we went to Friends in Clayton. And Friends American Grill. Facebook. Let's see if they got a website. They have an upstairs and a downstairs. It was cold, so upstairs is all open. So we didn't go upstairs this time. We did last time, though. All right, we can, let's see. Let's see. All right, so I think I still have a Rolex I got in Korea. Yeah, okay. Let's see how much you can get for that $10 Rolex now. Yes, the Smoky Mountains. Beautiful. Oh, let's see. Oh, you're not in the Villages now, Trish. I thought you were. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, Renee. I'll have to look you up Wednesday. Let's see if we can't get together Wednesday. Make sure live stream at Artman's. Oh, hey. Lift weights to increase testosterone naturally. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. I've been pretty much lifting weights most of my life. I worked at a fitness center when I was 30 years old in, where was I? Fort Pierce, Florida. It's called U.S. Fitness. Well, dumbass me, when you're lifting weights and all that stuff, I got into steroids. And I was taking testosterone back then at 30. And I think that's what kind of killed my gonads, we'll say, to produce testosterone. Because I don't care how much weight you're going to lift. If your testosterone levels are down around 250, you're probably not even going to be able to lift any weights. So it just depends on what your body can make and what it can't make. And I have proven that time and time again. So I feel like I'm a pretty fit guy right now, and I work out religiously in the weight room. But, and what that does is that probably helps me use a lesser amount than what I would normally have to use. So I have to I'll kind of, believe that, Tom, then, that it does help me keep that necessary amount. Because I used to take 1 cc, now I only take a half a cc. So that's why I think you're right. It does help increase testosterone naturally. But you have to at least get yourself there to be able to get out there and work out. And I think that's where it helps. So let's see here. Smokies or Artman? Smokies almost every year in the fall. All right, so finally found a place to rent for the month of June. Get to be there for the whole month next year. That's cool. Well, by then, my man, So I had a wonderful, wonderful birthday party on Sunday. And I don't even know how much so my whole family was there. Everybody from the office was there. My girl Candace, who helps me with my IM renovations, she was there. We had a great time. So we didn't do a video, did we? Did anybody do a video of that?
I did a video of one.
Well, we'll share the video with you next week. How's that? So listen, Kimberly's out, so guess what? I'm going to leave because Kimberly's leaving. And no, I'm just kidding. But anyways, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. It is 7:46 p.m. And I want to salute all the veterans out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service. If it wasn't for you all, we would not be free, because freedom isn't free, as they say, right? So if it wasn't for our vets out there, this country would be totally different. We'd probably be taken over by the communists, which we're trying to be taken over by the communists now as it is anyways. We got to fight, 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 so they say. Keep the communists, keep the socialists out of our country. And wallets? That's next. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. Gary, thanks for hanging in there to the very end. You were number one. I appreciate it. Say hi to Kathy for me. Pat and Jane, y'all are awesome. Racer Girl, love you. Scott, thank you for joining us this evening. And DL2, somewhere in the sun, thanks. Thank you for participating as well, DL2. I really appreciate those of you who participate along with me. And so anybody else, like I said, if my man Andy's out there, I want to say hey to Andy and his lovely wife. Jace, I know you jumped on there in the beginning. Safe travels home, my friend. Want to thank you so much for being my friend. And that's I'll leave it there. Ghost Rider, looking forward to seeing you, my man, in June. And we'll have to go and do our World of Beer thing with Jace when he's back. He'll probably be back for good by then. So that'll be awesome to have him here permanently. Darasan, thank you so much for participating in our chat. And Trish, I look forward to seeing you. Trish, give me a call when you get back. Let's see, you said the 14th. Today's what, the 10th? So, oh, man, I better wish my sister-in-law happy birthday or I'm in big, big, big trouble. So, a big shout out to Cindy Foster, my lovely bride's sister, and we won't discuss how old she is today, but where are we? I have to do this before I forget, or I'm be in so much trouble, you guys, you just would not know. So let me go here. Birthday. There we go. All right. So, again, thanks to all for participating. Next week, what are we going to do, Christian, next week?
Well, I'll talk to Katina and see if she would like to come in.
We'll try to get Katina in here to talk about wills and trusts and estates and all that good stuff. What you can do here in Florida, what you can't do if you have a will or a trust or an estate and you're moving to Florida, what you need to know for all that stuff as well. So we want to keep trying to bring you all this great information, and so please keep coming back. Thank you, Gary, for the excellent show tonight, and I love y'all. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who have shown up tonight and attend our live. This isn't a podcast. Is this a podcast?
Podcast would just be if we were audio.
Oh. Listen, I want some of you guys to start getting used to calling in, too. I'd love to hear from you. If Skip was around, he'd probably be calling me. Wrestler, if you're still around, you need to call in. But anyways, we'll see y'all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Love y'all. And please be good. Happy Veterans Day to our veterans. And I really, again, I appreciate them so much. So we will end it there. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Stay warm.